What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name's Dustin, and around here we like building stuff with our hands. But today we're going to talk about Christmas gifts for you, the fabricator, and guy who likes to tinker. So at the end of the video, you got to make sure you share it, otherwise nobody knows what you want for Christmas. Number one, vice grips. Okay, if they're a welder, vice grips like this. If they work on anything else, vice grips like this. There is no size that is going to be wrong. Okay, I got another one. C-clamps. That's a long throat C-clamp. Here's one that's taller. Here's one that's a little smaller and a little shorter. If that doesn't work, how about a bar clamp? You can get these anywhere. Harbor Freight, Lowe's, Home Depot, absolutely anywhere. However, the more you pay for them, generally the better they are. Once again, just like pliers and vice grips, there is no wrong size and we cannot have enough of them. A Bluetooth speaker. Like, I love music, and honestly, if my music isn't going, I'm not working very hard. So you can get a speaker like this off Amazon for like $100, and I mean, it's gonna be as loud as the neighborhood will allow, and you will work a lot better. What about these? Honestly, I've got lots and lots of them, but the one I always go back to is a Stanley Fat Max. For many reasons. It's wider, which means it'll stretch out longer. It's got hooks on the bottom of it and on the back of it, and honestly, they're probably the highest quality in the industry. So, never can have too many of these. Have one in the truck, have one in the house, have one out in the shop, and have a couple spares. How about layout tools? Center punch, different size center punch. A scribe that will allow me to, offset the distance and then scratch a line in something. Magic markers, okay? Sharpies, I use Sharpies on everything. Micrometers. All of this stuff is handy all of the time. If your man doesn't have it, you might want to buy him some. How about PPE? Safety glasses, earplugs, face shields, okay? Look, Harbor Freight, like $16. I use that thing almost every single day. Another one that you absolutely cannot mess up. I know it sounds ignorant, and I know it seems like it's just something rinky-dink because they're only a couple dollars, but no man in his lifetime has ever said, I have way too many zip ties. No, that's not true. Electrical tape. Every time you cut a wire, you need that stuff. So, a roll of this is like $15. Duct tape, because if you can't fix it with rebar and duct tape, then you probably can't fix stuff very well. Since most of you are going to expect me to actually recommend power tools, I want you to step back and stop just a second, because every man has a different brand of power tools. Sneak out to the shop and see what brand it says on the side of his, okay? It may be red, or it may be black, it may be yellow, it may be green. Make sure you read the name before you go buying other pieces. You can buy one piece at a time. If there's something that he doesn't have that you think he might need, go ahead and buy him one. But the biggest thing that we would really like to have is batteries. These things wear out after 3 or 4 years, and honestly, they're just as expensive as the tool is. So if you go out in the shop and figure out what name and what voltage the batteries that we have are already, go ahead and buy us a couple of these. You can't go wrong. What if you're married to a 1%er? A guy like me who kind of has everything, and if I need it, well, I'm either going to go to town to get it, or I look it up on Amazon and I'm going to buy it right then. Well, for those types of people, honestly, it may seem like a thoughtless gift, but there's a handful of places that you can go to give me a gift card that I'm not going to turn down. How about your local welding supply store? Do you know that your loved one likes to weld? Find out where they get their stuff at. Gas, consumables, wire, All of that stuff we spend hundreds and hundreds of dollars on every year, but nobody really seems to think that a gift card from our local welding supply store would be a good idea. If there is a Harbor Freight nearby, yeah, there will be people say, oh, I don't shop there because their tools are cheap. But when it comes down to it, we all shop there for something, let me tell you. Every man has one of these. We use them for all kinds of things, from fabrication to buffing off rust to just cleaning up things, maybe even sharpening lawnmower blades. And this is the discs and the consumables that we run through those. I personally probably go through about $100 a year worth of stuff like this. But if you don't know if your husband uses flat discs, wire wheels, or grinders, you can go to this place right here, Benchmark's Abrasives, okay? And you can buy one of their variety packs, spend a couple, $20, $30, and get a couple of these. Maybe you spend $100 and just get a whole big variety pack and get something, for a 4.5-inch angle grinder, and nobody's gonna turn that down. Benchmark Abrasives also has wire wheels and carbide cutters. So maybe that's something to look at. Here's another thing to think about. If your husband is a welder and likes to weld on stuff at home, then maybe a new welding hood would be something he would like. Harbor Freight actually sells some really good ones that are actually made by Lincoln, one of the top brands in the industry. This one here is a Miller, but they function very, very similar, and Harbor Freight's welding helmets are really, really good. This next one you might think's a joke, but it's actually not. We all have tools, right? And even though we may complain that sometimes that we don't have enough tools, we really don't want you buying those. We all have our personal preference and, goals that we're working towards to buy the right tools for our set. But this right here is what we actually want. This is a 10mm socket, and so is this one. They come long, they come short. Both of these are a 3/8 drive, but they come in a 1/4-inch drive, they come in a 1/2-inch drive. The point is, every single thing that we touch, from lawnmowers to vehicles to outboards, all of them have a 10mm socket. So, since we use these the most, we tend to lose them the most. And it never fails, we're out working on something and we don't have one. We've got to go all the way back to the shop to get one. Your husband is literally going to laugh when he opens up a package and you've got 5 different 10mm sockets in there, but I guarantee he's going to love you for it. Maybe your husband could, stand to lose a few less holes in his t-shirts. You can get him a fire-rated jacket, just like this one, either a welding jacket or a fire-rated long-sleeve shirt that's sold by lots of companies online. Just search welding shirts and you'll come up with something, I'm sure of it. Now comes the time where you need to share this video, because you actually liked all the things that I recommended in the video, and you need a way to tell your loved ones what you actually want for Christmas. So now's the time where you need to share the video, otherwise you deserve another pack of socks. Merry Christmas, guys. I hope you have a good one, and be safe out there.